Back at VIR to shake down the next phase of things with the M2. We've done a few upgrades, some of those things we did at Mid-Ohio, done a couple more things on top of that. Made a little sway bar modification where we have drilled holes in the sway bar. Also done a few more little suspension bits and pieces, but yeah, we haven't had a baseline at VIR since we did the brake kits, the rear arms, the diff bushings, a few setup things. So now, time to see what this thing will do around here for the next phase of it. And we're here for a couple of days, so we're gonna see what we do today, but then we've got something else in store for tomorrow, and we'll see if we can't even go a little bit faster with what we're gonna throw on tonight. So while we're out here messing with this thing, talking through trying to figure out what the rear grip deal is. Because we got a challenge. We definitely have rear grip limitations, and while the track sucks, it's super cold. It was just about freezing last night. The balance is off on this car, and the last time we drove it, Mid-Ohio, different track, but I think we can still assume the balance should be reasonable, and maybe the way it approaches corners and so forth is different. But we got lack of rear grip or extra front grip. Extra front grip. So we've added the SPL front arms on this thing, the tie rod, the front lower control arm, the tension strut. So improve some roll center geometry. So we've got the front end working really well, which in turn means the rear end. Messes up the rear end. So we're out there banging our heads like, what's going on? Why is the rear end of this car not good? Well, it's because we've improved the front end of the car so much in those changes to, initially we were just thinking set up to fit the 315 tires. Well, we had some SPL performance parts to do that. So guess what? Those SPL parts and the new setup on the car has improved front grip, and so now we're going to compensate and go find some rear grip. So good for us. We're making progress. And I'm putting a battery in the key so we can actually get the car out on track in the future. That's helpful. If I can get it in the key. I hope you can. I'm confident he can figure it out. All right, working on it.
So a couple of sessions down, we are still chasing some rear grip, gonna make some shock changes now on the MCS 3-ways. But really, we're kind of burning through some tires now, and the track is still seemingly pretty cold, even as we're about to get into the afternoon. Track's cold, shock's cold, car's cold, I'm cold. Yeah, so the grip is just not there right now, really, to put down a lap time. And now we have gone past the window a little bit on where these tires are for representative comparison to our last outing with this thing. But we've got some other tires in the trailer that we will bolt on tomorrow, so we are gonna keep trucking along with getting the balance right and chasing that for now, so that tomorrow, hopefully in the afternoon, when the track warms up a little bit, we'll be in good shape.
high 32, except right front is 31.5.
Do my 2 clicks of rear low speed.
-2 of low speed.
+2 low speed. I feel like I lost a little bit of front end in turn 1.
A little bit of
front end.
Okay.
But still, it still wants to do oversteering in the like 3, 1. If I get back to gas in 1, it just wants to light up the rears, I feel like.
Okay, so you're coming up on that rear low speed.
Yes.
See what that does.
Yep.
Trunk.
It is day 2 where we have the M2 out here at VIR. It is chilly again. It was pretty chilly yesterday. This car was pretty frosty this morning. Yesterday went okay. The track just did not have the temp, did not have the grip that we were really looking for. The tires maybe were a little bit beat, so we kind of beat on the car throughout the day, and the tires continued to get worse. We did make some progress. We made some setup changes to the car. We were fighting for rear grip throughout the day. We got some more rear grip, messed with the MCS three-ways, got them dialed in a little bit more for the current configuration we have on this thing, made some ride height changes, and think we are in a window. So now with day 2, as it's starting to warm up, hopefully track temp comes up a little bit, we have now put the AERO on the car. So we've got the big wing on here, we've got the front splitter on here, time to see what this thing does, and we have some sticker Hoosier 315s. That's right, 315s we have squeezed under the stock bodywork on this thing with some magic from the SPL arms up front to make it all work. So really looking forward to this. Gonna take it out here in a little bit, and hopefully the fresh tires, the AERO, all the things give us the grip we need to go fast today. Well, let's see what it does. Whole session just in case you get traffic or whatever, otherwise I'll potentially swap out.
So my goal is a lap time.
Your goal is a lap time. Maximize the stickers.
What should my lap time be?
As fast as you can go. Based on yesterday, I think a 58 would be a win right now.
Copy.
Faster would be great.
Yep, both are on. We're good.
to 34 and please get rid of the tools behind the passenger seat.
Okay, 34.
that without burning down the car. So.
How was it?
The car was good. The aero balance is really good. The traffic sucked. I couldn't find a space. You know, I was keeping up with the GT3 RS.
I saw that.
And he passed me on the straight because I got bobbled in traffic, and then I ate him up everywhere else.
Yeah.
So I feel really good about the car's capability. I mean, it was a well-driven car. It wasn't. They didn't suck. But I mean, this thing is fast. So I did a 58. I did it twice, two separate times. We came in, we bled the tires. They were at 36. We brought them down to 34. I think it's probably better 36 with the weighted car.
Okay.
Feels like it had better support. It's a 57.
Okay.
I didn't click it, but it's a 57.
Well, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah. I don't know how much time carrying around the air pump added.
Good deal.
Great. But on my fast lap, there's an asterisk that says I carried around your air pump.
Well, good work. You got
Thank
a little extra time.
But otherwise, I didn't burn up the tires, and I think you should try it.
Okay. I saw James put 2 off in Oak Tree.
And so I didn't rear end a Porsche.
Yeah, you were tailing him pretty good, going up the S's.
Yeah, I could catch him in the S's, and I could definitely catch him under braking. I mean, it feels awesome to get on the tires. Like, new rubber makes everything work better.
The rear. How's the rear feel?
Good. I mean, it's clearly aero working because, like, in one, you have to like still come onto the throttle, but like at about that hill rise, it really starts doing its job, so you can commit to flat before you would think.
Okay.
Same thing in 10. Like it's always like rolling speed, and then I have to know that because I have a wing, I can commit. But the less sketchy place to do that is 17, where you come over there and you just bury it, and you just know that little wiggle you get from burying it won't happen.
Okay.
But you do have to take a later apex to make that work, because otherwise you get a little bit of front push. We have a little splitter rub. Like if I go hard to brakes at the end of the back straight, I can hear it, just one skitter, and then I get it rubbing on 14 and 16, just going over the curbs.
Okay.
But it's just hitting rub block, so we should look at the bottom, but I'm pretty sure it's just the edges in the rub block.
Okay.
Are you good there? Feels good? So,
All right.
all good.
Awesome.
All right. How's the car, Phil?
The car was much different, James. But seriously, the car was a lot different. That did not feel like the same car that I drove yesterday. Of course, guess what? You put stickers on and you put aero on, all of a sudden we have a lot more grip. I only got a lap in it because James went out and burned all the fuel in it and handed me over a car with just a little bit of fuel.
I feel like that's the standard story and you're trying to tell it, but you missed some key elements. I went out and did what you asked me to do and cut my session short so you could get in the car.
I wasn't supposed to go out, but we ended up in pit lane at the same time, so I hopped in.
And then complained about the result.
Yeah, well, that's what you do, right?
Can we talk about the car?
Yeah.
How was the car, James?
The car was good. It was really good with the stickers, obviously. We went from 295 to 315, so we're really stuffing some tire up under there. The aero on the car made a world of difference. So yesterday, with some older tires and some rubbing on the car, we talked about yesterday those SPL arms making the front of the car better, therefore relatively the rear worse. We were starting to see the rear fall off. And even today, over only a span of laps, I may have had 7 or 8 total. Initially the rear was very good, but then a few laps in, the rear was where the car started to show that it's going to drop pace. So to me, we need to be thinking about the rear thing. We thought about it a lot yesterday. We made a lot of changes for the rear, but now we need to make some fundamental changes, and I think down to spring rate, and I think that split needs to be different because it is pretty spicy with matched rates with the coilover config, and I think we need to come down in rear spring rate like 100 pounds, just as a nod to we're loading that rear tire too much, even with the help of the aero.
Yeah, so it seems like it works well initially, but over the life of a 20-30 minute session, you're just beating on that rear. You're asking a lot of that rear.
Yeah, right. Like you can get a balance of a car in a moment of time. And that's, you know, that's a challenge, but it's not the only challenge. The more critical thing is to get the car to be balanced over a span of life of tire, because that's what makes, you know, that's what tells your car is properly balanced, not just being propped up by really good tires, or if you tune it and get it right mid-tire life, just a factor of where you are with the tires, and they are at the moment.
Yeah.
So we need to work on roll, you know, roll couple. That's what that is, roll couple, and we'll dial that in and make it better. And oddly, on the 435, kind of same thing. We stickered up yesterday. You know, we had some burned down tires. The car was like low grip everywhere, but I felt like more rear low grip, and we've been chasing rear. You know, and honestly, we chased rear on these tires, which when you chase a rear grip problem, you also beat on those tires and make them worse. So we had already dug into the rear tires. So on this one also, I think we need to be a slightly less aggressive, and especially now that we're like 3 out of 3 front bar, 1 out of 3 rear bar. So we're, you know, and I know we talked about making some different bars that do different things. Part of making that product is making sure that everything else is right before you say, okay, and this is what I need finally, because otherwise, if the car's in the wrong window and you make something dumb for it because you're trying to tune your car in the wrong window, then you're dumb. So we're going to try to be smarter than that, and I think there's a different spring split, but I still think we need to rub on those bars some.
That was a lot of words. Agreed?
Yeah, car's good. Car's good. Track's good-ish. I mean, it's still cold.
It's still not the best VIR can give. It's not optimal.
Yeah, I was 58 with a kind of throw it together lap in traffic. I think the car is, the M2 is specifically 57s. Again, like known quantities, the track is a few seconds off. So what does that mean? Is that a 55 car in an April day where the track is cool but not ice cold? Maybe. I think we're going to hibernate over the winter, unfortunately, and so we'll have to see next year.
Yep.
And then maybe we get to add power. That's, you know, with stock power, this thing is insanely spicy.
Super solid point to remind everybody. Stock power. We have not touched the engine tune on this thing. Stock. So 58 in a stock configuration, that's pretty impressive for not turning this thing up. Easy to make lap time here with power. I think that says a lot for the project of this car. As we're just developing, trying to tweak things along the way, show what makes lap time before.
For a representative car, right? For a car that's representative of what our customers would typically do. That's not to say what you could do, but certainly you could also pull a lot of weight out of this car, which again, we've taken seats out to replace with racing seats, but heavy bases, etc., and a roll bar. So I think that's a net zero. Add the fire system in, we're not really changing a ton. Oop, Optima battery. That lithium battery is a little lighter. But anyway, we're not really changing the weight of the car. We're not intentionally changing the weight of the car, and it's still super fast. So throw another 200-300 horsepower in here. We got almost a GT More level thing without being so modified at that GT More level, which is super cool.
It's pretty impressive. So I'm pretty excited with how we're closing out 2025 with this thing. Like you said, we'll hibernate over the winter, and I think come and hit this hard again 26.
Yeah, so far so good. Back to it.
Well, we kind of wrapped this video up, but I decided to go back out for one more session in this thing, see what it was about, and it's pretty incredible. This thing hooks up. It feels so planted now with the AERO. Still a little bit of some stuff we need to work on, but man, what big improvements from what this thing was yesterday to today. And I am pretty thrilled to go home and end the season with where we are with this. A 58.9 is what I turned. James did a 58.68. So I'll take that. I feel like that's being that close to him. I feel pretty good about that. And that's the fastest I have actually turned a lap around VIR. And I can't wait to do some more to this thing over the winter and then tune this baby up so that we can hit 2026 and go a little faster. Yeah, I just got a big smile on my face because this thing is so much fun to drive. Anyways, stay tuned for more. Best way to do that, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, hit that like button, something, whatever.
There you go. It'll be fun.
Ready to go?
Should be an awesome race weekend. It's fun. We are ready to kill it this year. It's going to be a wild ride.